Hi, I'm Officer Dupre Foster with the Chesapeake Police Department, and today we're going to learn about our underwater search and recovery team.
All right, when you're ready, cut it on. Try to breathe off it. Shouldn't be getting anything.
I was interested in joining USART. I was before I came on the department, I was in the Coast Guard Reserve, so I've been around water and working on water throughout my life. And through the Coast Guard, I saw a need and the importance of having someone there to bring that peace of mind and closure for like drowning victims and incidences. So that way the family is not having an empty casket, something like that. They have that closure that they can say, hey, my loved one's back with us, and that peace of mind. That's primarily why I got involved in it. I want to be part of that and do it on the police department here in the city that I live in.
Your safety, okay? I have always been very comfortable in and around the water. I grew up at the beach. I've always been a swimmer. For me, my comfort level in the water, I wanted to transition that into the dive team with Chesapeake. It gives me great honor and privilege to be able to locate items that have been thrown or victims which have drowned in the water, to be able to recover those for the families, either in an active case or to be able to get that person back to their family so they can have closure in an unfortunate event of a death.
Most of the equipment we use is our scuba gear. It's very similar to our recreational gear, but with some modifications to kind of allow us to do our job much more safer than the recreational side. As you see, I'm wearing a dry suit today. This lets me stay dry and warm because I have nice warm layers underneath. We have full face masks, so when I'm wearing this, I'm completely dry. I'm not touching any contaminated water. It's a very safe system that we use. And we have redundant air system as well. Kind of lets us breathe from 2 tanks, so we don't have to worry so much about the safety side of, hey, I'm running low on air. I can always switch to another air source, give my buddy some air, that kind of stuff. So that's probably the main differences between our side and the recreational side. We also use metal detectors, little handheld metal detectors that we can take underwater. And we use lift bags, which are essentially large pillows that we can inflate with air to bring heavy objects from the bottom up to the surface. So we can do anything from buses, cars, down to safes, pretty much anything.
So our initial training, it starts out with a 3-week dive school. That is a very rigorous and in-depth dive school. It is very physically and mentally demanding. The first week for our dive school is open water diving. For us, we definitely ramp it up because what we're doing is not necessarily recreational diving. It is much more intense. So our training program, in my opinion, is much harder than that you would receive at a local dive training. The following 2 weeks of that dive training is public safety diving. That's where we get into the nuts and bolts of what we do and what we're doing here today with these search patterns, recoveries, evidence, lifting vehicles, anything that we need to do, and again, the unfortunate recovery of a body or from someone who has drowned.
What's awesome about the Maritime Operations team, which is the Marine Patrol side and the dive side, is that we get along very well. We're always training with each other. We have the same gear essentially. So I can go to a guy in Norfolk and we can go dive together, no problem. So we'll regularly train throughout the region.
Diver up!
Our dive call-outs that we get, they're not usually, between 8 and 4. They're going to be 3 a.m., 2 a.m. We're getting those late night call-outs. You need to be dedicated, teamwork. I can't do my job without my partner's help. Everybody on the team has a role they play. We can't accomplish that mission without all of us working well together.
This is not an easy job. One, it takes great mental and physical mindset to be able to do this job. Not everybody can do it. What we do underwater, we do in limited to almost no visibility at all. We wear full face masks, so there is a lot of claustrophobia that is involved with the job that we do and the equipment that we wear.
All the work we do underwater, you have your full face mask on, you're breathing that compressed air. It's much more difficult than you and I breathing up here right now. So running, swimming, biking, all that stuff to raise your cardiovascular endurance is a must-have to be on this, to be an effective diver, in my opinion.
So for me to be able to comfortably do that and get into an environment that we're not necessarily supposed to be in, to be able to help somebody or solve a crime, that for me is very rewarding and absolutely the most interesting part. Being able to be a diver on top of being a police officer is, for me, it's the icing on the cake. This is my heart and soul was the dive team. I love being a part of this dive team. We are a true team. We don't just come and train twice a month and hang out then. We as a team, we will talk to each other outside of training. We go on vacations together. And it's that team atmosphere that I truly enjoy here with Chesapeake Underwater Search and Recovery.
Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to learn more about our Chesapeake Police Department, visit us online at chesapeakepolice.com.